Alrighty, ready. What's up, guys? Rich is here, and I am back after Battle for Charity and all that good stuff. And today I'm going to bring y'all a really good, really long EU match against AsianSensatiion. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into this battle. He's going to leave with a Garbodor, which I was like, huh? Garbodor? What? But it was really cool, so, seeing something that I hadn't ever seen before. So I, of course, lead off with my Crobat. I'm going to go for a U-turn, predicting him to kind of switch out. He goes into his Rotom Heat form. So I'm going to go into my Milotic, kind of bait him to go for the Electric move as I go into my Registeel so I can get up my free rocks. And he does go right for the Volt Switch, so that was really, it was a good, kind of baiting play on my part. But he goes back into this Garbodor, and I'm like, okay, what on earth is this thing going to do? $5 says it has, like, Earthquake or something. But he actually sets up Toxic Spikes as I go for rocks. Now, at this point in the match, I was like, okay, in the long run, I would rather have my Milotic poisoned, just regular poisoned as opposed to, like, badly poisoned. So I go into Milotic just to get regular poison, plus, get that Marvel Scale defense boost. Not yes, Marvel Scale. I was about to get confused with multi-scale again. I've done that so many times. So, and I see that he's got spikes, and I'm like, okay, you need to get out of here, dude. So I just go for a Dragon Tail, and I Dragon Tail him out to a Mr. Mime. So, figure that this thing might be like Calm Mind, or maybe like Choice in some way. He shows Charge Beam, which was a little interesting. It misses, unfortunately. I mean, it wasn't really that important, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, he could have gotten the special attack boost and all that stuff, but he's going to switch out right here, probably because of that miss, and go back out into his Garbodor. And I'm actually going to switch out and go back, or not go back, go into my Zapdos. Why I went into Zapdos, I really can't remember, because I had this match like a month and a half ago, maybe even longer. But I'm just going to fire off a nice T-Bolt, do a fair amount of damage to that, and I see that he also has Explosion, which is like, okay, didn't really expect that on Garbodor, but then again, I didn't know what to expect on Garbodor. So, he's going to go into his Rotom. I figured that he's just going to want to go for a Volt Switch, kind of half expecting my Milotic to come in, but I figured that I can take one because he's not Scarfed, and, no, he is Scarfed, because he's not Specs. So I do take one, and I'm able to go for my Roost as he goes into an Umbreon. Now, what I remember from Umbreon, they still like to Wish, Protect, Payback, all that kind of fun shenanigans, possibly like Toxic every now and then. So I figured that the best thing that I can do is go into my Registeel and kind of just, scout for what he's going to do. And right here, he does show that he has Toxic, so, I now know that he probably doesn't have Curse if he's running Wish Protect. So I'm just going to go for a Toxic of my own because I know that I can't get hurt from Synchronize because I am a Steel type. So he goes into a Hitmontop. I see Intimidate, so therefore I'm kind of like, okay, this is probably going to be a spinner because, I mean, his team does have that Rotom, which doesn't really appreciate rocks a whole lot. So I'm figuring that he's just going to want to go for that spin just so he can start bringing Rotom in more freely. So I'm going to go into my Crobat. He does go for the Rapid Spin, which is good, I guess, because now I have, as opposed to like getting hit, well, Close Combat wouldn't have done that much anyways. But I'm at really high health still. And he goes back into Umbreon, and I'm like, okay, unless he has Protect, this is a clean 2-hit KO with Brave Bird. And I don't see Protect, so I'm able to 2-hit KO this thing off with the Brave Bird, so that was big. I needed that dead. So, predicting just to go from like Volt Switch or something, I'm going to go into Zapdos. But he actually goes for Overheat, which was a really good play. I was kind of hoping that he would, I guess that he was like, he'll go into this, and thinking that he'll go into my Milotic or something. So I do go into my Milotic now, and because he's locked into Overheat, I know that I can bait him out, so I'm going to pull a Double Switch, go back into my Crobat, and he goes into his Mr. Mime, which is absolutely delicious, to quote NBZ. So I'm just going to fire off a Banded U-Turn, and that is going to easily one-shot that thing, because that thing has like minuscule, pathetic, paper-thin defense. And I'm going to go into my Dusknoir. Now, Dusknoir, this is my sub-punching one. For those of you who, don't remember probably like the 1 or 2 times that y'all had seen it over on my Moshpit uploads. So he goes into a Bouffalon, base me to go in for the Pain Split, which I do, and he goes into his Rotom, so that was a really nice play on his part. And, but right here, I'm actually going to expect him to go for a Volt Switch of his own, and I'm just going to Pain Split again. So that would kind of even things out a little bit on my behalf. He is going to go on to his Hitmontop though, so I mean, I do get, some HP back, but I mean, it's not a whole lot because it is still a Hitmontop. But I whittled that thing down more, and it is toxic, so that'll help me kind of wear it down a little bit in the long run right here. Now I'm predicting the Sucker Punch because, of course, you know, close combat Rabbitsmen aren't going to hit me for nothing. So I'm just going to set up a substitute, and he does go for the Sucker Punch, so that was amazing. And right here, you know, 150 base Focus Punch as opposed to a Stab Shadow Sneak. I'm going to want to go for the Focus Punch because that's obviously the best move. I live on 12, thank goodness, because I wasn't quite sure how much the toxic damage would kind of rack up, but I figured that I could most likely take it. And thankfully I do. So because of the Intimidate, it's not really going to, you know, bring him into the range that Toxic will be able to KO him over the next turn. So I am going to have to go into my my Lodic here. For reasons unbeknownst to me, I figured that one, I could be faster. No, one, that I'd be slower and then just recover off. But I mean, still, I mean, it was nice to kind of just recover up because this this close combat with the Marvel scale boost is going to do like a quarter damage to my health, so that was fairly nice, you know, knowing that I could tank it that well, even though I have mixed defenses in my Melodic, so it's kind of, you know, kind of split them up. So here he goes into Rotom, and right here I was kind of hoping that he would go for the Volt Switch and go back into his Bouffalon, so I went for Toxic, but unfortunately he has Thunderbolt. So that was really bad. Like, this is where things kind of start sliding down the hill slowly but surely. So, misplay number 2, big, right here. I didn't sack my Lodic. I should have sacked my Lodic and just gone into Registeel after my Lodic died. Because I figured that I needed to get Rocks back up, because now that I at least have this thing poisoned, it can't really switch in a whole lot. So I wanted to get the Rocks up right here, but I still should have let my Lodic die and then gone into Registeel and set up my Rocks. So Bouffalon comes back in. I'm kind of expecting him to kind of over-predict here and go for a head charge, which is what he does. So I'm just going to fire off a Toxic right here on it and just, you know, rack up more residual damage with Life Orb and the Toxic. I unfortunately forgot that this thing could learn Earthquake, so that's going to be bad. And then right here is pretty much the point where I just like completely and totally threw the match away. I go into Lilligant, and I go for a Petal Dance, completely and totally forgetting that this thing has Sap Sipper. And so, yeah, that's honestly pretty much was the point where I was just like, damn, I just threw this match. So, yeah, right here, I'm just going to go into Crobat, just go for a U-turn, finish that thing off. My Lodic can't live another Spike switch in, so that's going to die to Spikes whenever that comes about. And then his Rotom is just going to finish off my Crobat with a Thunderbolt. So, bit of a misplay on my part kind of led to my demise, but I mean, it was still a fun match. Lots of predictions, lots of, you know, lots of fun. So yeah, good game, AsianSensatiion. That's it. Thank you all for watching. I sincerely appreciate it. If you will leave me feedback, go ahead. I will read it and enjoy it with all my heart and soul. Thanks for watching again, guys. And that's it. I will catch you next time. Peace.